There are many things that go into creating your personal brand. And whether you're in the corporate space or the entrepreneurial scene, you need to make sure that that brand is not only comprehensive, but forward looking and innovative for your own business success. And that's why we have Laura here today. She's going to tell us a little bit about herself, why this topic matters to her, and why it should matter to you. Laura, welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you very much. So I am Laura Lorenz. I am the owner of Top Floor Mentoring, and I have been working with entrepreneurs, small businesses, and emerging leaders for about 35 years, helping them put together a plan to make sure that they succeed like they never have before. And I'm so passionate about this because I care that small business and entrepreneurs and even young professionals are able to succeed in their lives. It just breaks my heart when I see small business owners go out of businesses or people be frustrated with their jobs because they're not getting the recognition they need, those kind of things. I just, without help and without some kind of person behind you helping you get there, it's very difficult to do it on your own.
Absolutely. And what's something really interesting that you just said there was just this concept of having somebody who has a little bit more knowledge than you, or a lot of bit more knowledge if you've got 35 years experience, having your back. That's that concept of having a mentor who you can look up to and who you can kind of feel a sense of not just support. There's more than that. I don't even think I could find the words. And the reason I struggle to find the words is because I have been in the position of looking for that person. I've found that person, and I'm so full because of it. So I can't overstress the significance of that role in achieving your personal and professional success. But in that space, what does your personal brand have to do with having somebody who's like going to help you? You're going to help me, so what does it matter?
Well, so if you have someone there behind you, you have someone helping you with your communication skills, because a lot of times we are very good at maybe writing, but not wonderful at sitting one-to-one and having articulate conversations, trying to close sales, trying to close your boss on the raise. A lot of times it's being able to take personal criticism and take that and use that to help you grow. It's a lot about helping, time management comes up time and time again with people. And, you think with all the books out there and all the trainings out there, we'd all be so good at it, but we're not. And having someone help you to do that, basically, I think having someone to support you and hold your feet to the fire about your goals and what you really want to accomplish in your life helps you, because it's so easy to let other things worm their way into what you're doing, and you forget to work on the things that are important but maybe not urgent.
Right. And so that's where that accountability comes into play. And
Yeah.
I know, just like you described, I've read the time management books. We all have the same number of hours in the week, yada, yada, yada. I know. But to have somebody say, hey, did you do the thing? Did you do the thing? That thing you said you do? Did you do the thing? That makes a difference. And
Well,
nobody's
it
going
does.
to tell me otherwise.
And also, what is stopping you from getting it done, so that you can figure out how to take things out of your day that aren't really worthwhile or moving you forward.
Right. That's right. And that kind of leans on, we're talking about mentorship, but it also leans on a certain degree of coaching, a certain degree of understanding how to get somebody to realize something for themselves so that they can make those choices moving forward, so that they're feeling empowered to do the thing.
Yep. Branding also really includes how you talk about yourself, though, and how, we're very good at doing the company message, but people aren't buying a company message. They're buying you. And so you need to understand, what your values are and the value that you bring to your clients so that you can actually have them go, oh, I want to work with you. You're awesome.
Absolutely. And, I've been taking a few notes as we talk because I want to highlight how multidimensional building your personal brand is. Because already, I've only been able to jot down a few things because I'm within the conversation. We've got communication, time management, accountability, values, and the way you form interpersonal relationships and how you articulate yourself within those is just like a sub factor of some of these things. Um, Another thing I'd like to ask you about within that scope, in your professional opinion, where does authenticity fit into that?
Oh, you today, if you are not authentic, it is the kiss of death, to be very honest with you. And I know, some of us older folk are sort of afraid of showing who we are because we were taught that you had to be this kind of a person. But in today's day and age, if you are not your authentic self, I'm not listening to you talk because I can see that you're a fake and that you don't know what the heck you're doing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it becomes, and it's, and I of course I agree. Anybody who's been in my space for any period of time knows that I'm all about the twoicity, authenticity and simplicity. They feed each other,
Yep.
right? So the idea of being so robotic as to not be your authentic self in any situation that you want to succeed in,
Mhm.
just it gives me
Yeah, I
you
hear you.
know it's just not right. So I love that you're on board, first of all, because your personal brand is intimate. And the reason I'm saying that is because when people often think about having the mentor who's going to help them to be accountable and really step into their values and really all of that, can feel a little bit detached, but it's not. Like I want my point being, I'd love for you to share a little bit about your role in that, for entrepreneurs and micro business owners as well as bigger corporations, and where you can support them in ensuring their success and fulfillment as well.
So let me make
I know
sure
that
I
was
understand the
I know that
question,
was a big
because there
question.
was a lot in there. We're talking about how their authenticity ensures their success. Is that
And your
in
and
a
your
nutshell?
role in bringing that out, right? And
Right.
allowing their personal brand to be fully developed.
Yep. So what I find is that so many people, they have all this chatter in their head, right? And they also have this whole imposter syndrome going on. And so they behave differently than they are, like in their marketing or their comments on LinkedIn. And then we meet you and you're a completely different person. And it's like, yet again, I'm so confused. Who are you? Because we want to know you. We don't want to know the company. We want to know how you personally solve their problems. And so I go through a series of trainings, just really trying to better understand who they are, what they're trying to communicate, and where they want to be. And then we talk about how to then be able to authentically discuss those with your boss, with your customers, with your, you know, college professors. It doesn't matter. I mean, you just be able to say, this is who I am. This isn't like what my parents made me do or what I think I should be doing. This is my heart. I have my whole heart and all my passion in everything I do.
And building that personal brand from that space gives you the leg up, the leverage that you need in order to achieve success at a not just achieve success, because I feel like that's kind of a vague statement, but like,
Yeah.
to a different level, to a different degree, aligned and specific. And that's a power move that
Yep.
not everybody has in their back pocket.
That's the truth. And being authentic, when you are authentic, you don't have to think of the right things to say, right? Because you're being yourself. And that doesn't mean here's my corporate line I'm supposed to say. It's this is how I feel about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. Like I have this passion for helping people become who they should be, whether it's, entrepreneurs or small business owners or emerging leaders. We all need to be at peace with ourselves. And if we are playing against our values, which is then those fake messages, we're constantly unhappy because something feels wrong. When you're your authentic self, everything seems to gel the right way.
Yeah, absolutely. You catch the right wave and you can surf it all the way there. Not that I know anything about surfing. Currently, where I'm located, it's like negative 30 degrees Celsius. So that's fun.
Skiing.
But I
You
digress.
ski all the way there, right?
Well, yeah, well, and actually, there you go. I actually don't ski, but I've heard I should really learn how to ski. It seems that's okay. I digress. I want to make a connection here. I want to make a little bit of a leap. So we've got our personal brand, and we've talked about being authentic within that and exploring the different avenues that make up a personal brand and how having a mentor with you can help you. We've also mentioned success, and I've pointed out how having a specific, tangible goal helps you to achieve that instead of having this vague concept of what it means to be successful. So here's a leap, and I'm hoping that you can track with me here. You mentioned imposter syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got this personal brand and you feel kind of like, yeah, this is me. This is how I want to show up. Here's my goal. Awesome. That's great. And I'm not sure where I stand in this because of invents reasons here, right? Insert whatever block is happening in your brain.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many ways that you can kind of navigate that space, but I know that you have some specific ones that can help that no one with less experience can possibly give. I know one thing that we briefly talked about in another call was about talking to the right people to learn what you need to leverage about yourself. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that's part of exploring your personal brand. Help me through that, because I feel like as a part of our audience members, we might be going, okay, so how can I make these leaps and bounds? How can I achieve that specific success with a kind of sort of developed personal brand and all of these roadblocks in my way? I can feel the tension on
Yep.
behalf of people who are viewing today.
Well, so one of the things that helps you with your personal brand and also understanding, if you're a small business owner, why people actually purchase from you is by physically speaking to your clients. Or when it's your personal brand, you're going to bring in your family, your friends, and ask them what they know about you and how do they perceive
Right.
you, so that you can either think, wow, this whole new brand I'm building for me is really right, or maybe I'm making this up and I need to look at what they're saying. Same thing with companies. A lot of times businesses will come out with these beautiful value propositions, and it's not why the clients bought from them at all. And so you're not going to attract your ideal clients that way, right? You need to understand why people, why'd your last boyfriend want to date you? I don't know if you want to talk to him or not, but you know what I mean. Or why did your last client buy from you, kind of thing. Because without that feedback, again, we're in our heads making it all up.
Right. So it's really just the solution to those roadblocks is to have the conversation. Whoever you need to have the conversation with, and it might be yourself.
Yep. Yes. And a lot of times the roadblocks that come up, I help people put together their personal goal plans, or I put business plans together. And when the roadblocks appear, we are so apt to blame something outside of our control on that roadblock. And 90% of the time, it's really how we're viewing that roadblock. And if you can get rid of that and change your mindset, then you can move past that, or crawl over the wall or around the wall to get to where you need to be going next.
I feel like this is the time when I wish I had like some sort of visual where I can be like, hard truth. Just like a rainbow that says, here's your hard truth of the day. Because it's
Sadly,
true.
I don't think even 2% of the time it's really the other person's issue. It's yours.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And that is something that I hope everyone here takes to heart, because we really are already the solution to our own problems.
mhm.
And it's surprising how after you've kind of realized some of that, you look back and go, oh, damn, you dinglebat. And you can just move forward with a
I
little
could
bit
have
more like,
handled this a little differently this time, but at least,
yes,
I've been telling my kids this my whole life, and I tell business owners, failing, there is no failing, right? What it is an experience that you have an opportunity to look at and change behaviors or change processes or change anything you need to. Just pick yourself up, dust yourself off. Let's learn from that and move on. So, the old phrase fail often, fail fast is really kind of important, because if you were successful 100% of the time, you're not growing. And it
yeah,
then you're that feeling of unachieved, like I've met all my goals and where am I anyways, right?
absolutely. In fact, it's funny you say that. This morning, I actually mentioned it to a family member. I said, you know what? Things are just not, it wasn't this morning. It was last night. Things were just not going to plan. And it was little things like the cupboard wouldn't open. It's one of those press to open cupboards and wouldn't open. Or or you try to do this, the small, you move this, it falls off. Okay, move this, it falls. Just one of those evenings. And I was just like, all right, I need to go to bed. I need to go to bed. And I said, don't worry, I'm not upset. I'm not mad. Um, because if everything went perfectly all the time, I think we'd probably not be on the earth anymore. Will have met our demise. So I'm grateful
Yep.
for all of these setbacks.
Mhm.
As frustrating as they may feel, I'm grateful. And I'm going to learn, and I'm going to bed.
It's so funny that you saying grateful, because when you begin to work with me, I send you a gratitude journal, because I want you to every morning and every night write down 3 things that you're grateful for. And some days it's really hard, and it has to be there's air out there for me to breathe, or I have a roof over my head. But other days, you can be grateful for the fabulous things you did that day. And you need to just remember that life is good, because the more life is everything about mindset. And as you spiral down in that mindset, nothing ever, I mean, there's always going to be obstacles, but if you can rise above that and be grateful for the things that are pissing you off or going wrong in your business, because it's a learning experience, you're going to be so much better off than every other competitor that you have out there.
Absolutely. I love doing the gratitude thing. Honestly, it gets me so excited. I did the I think it's called the 5-minute gratitude journal or something. I did that for the duration of the journal. And I still do it, but on my own stuff, because I don't want to pay what they're asking for it. When I can just write it out.
Sure.
And I've built the habit. It's great for forming the habit, though. I'll give it that. And what's really cool about that is that when you have a plan in place, like what you just said, you've got this journal, you have you're going to do morning and night. This seems like a really light plan, but it actually sets you up for success.
Mhm.
And this small thing can be extrapolated into all manner of things in developing your personal brand and having the tough conversations that you need to have to excel yourself in the corporate space or in your entrepreneurial journey. All of those things require a plan, right? What is the saying? If you failed, you plan to fail.
Yep. Yep.
I think that's something that we are going to need to dive into. However, it's also something that we can't necessarily fully flesh out today. So
Okay.
what I am going to say is that if there's something that I haven't touched on today, and I know there is, because you are a wealth of knowledge and I've only barely scratched the surface. If there's something that you feel like, you know what, the audience needs to hear this. I know that they need to hear this after this type of conversation we've had. Then I'm going to give you the opportunity to do that. But I'm going to give you a moment to think. And in the meantime, I want to remind everybody who's watching and listening here today that we have conversations like this every single week. And you can join in and be prepared for the next one. So subscribe and leave a comment so that we know you're talking, so that you can ask the questions and give your 2 cents and see where it goes, because you never know. Sometimes we start off talking about personal brands and we end up talking about, I almost mentioned it, you talked about the kiss of death, and I was going to say those 2 mentors, I don't know what to do with them. But I digress. We like to have fun and explore that space. So subscribe and join the conversation. With that, I will take a sidestep and please share with the world what they need to hear from you right now.
So I think the biggest thing that I can say to the entire market is, if you want to build a rock solid team in your business, you need to create a program and a plan to make that happen. And it has to be broken down into simple, small steps. We are so good at putting that great, big, huge goal out there of, we're going to have this 90% improvement after 6 months. But if you don't know all the steps it's going to take to get that improvement, it's probably not an attainable goal. So make sure that you're building these programs to keep your employees, to have them grow, to grow as yourself as a business owner, that you're really doing that. It's start with the big thing and break it down, because, the old saying is you got to eat an elephant one bite at a time.
Absolutely. And to do that, you've got a great opportunity for them to reach out to you as well.
I do. I have a great program that I can tailor this program for you, for your employees' growth and retention, where I will work with them for 2 hours a month in a group setting, and then come out and work with them each individually to figure out how to apply what we learned to their specific plan. Because I know I have gone to a million trainings in my life, and I write down all these great things I'm going to do. And then if there isn't somebody that keeps reminding me, this is what we're going to do, and here's how we're going to apply this training, it never happens. And then you don't see the growth that you need.
Absolutely. My goodness, I can't stress enough the power of being able to do that, and being able to do that in a way that is not only aligned to your personal brand and attached to a tangible goal with the support of a mentor. Like, these things go together seamlessly and allow you to really live a very fulfilled life. And they're all about how you're bringing yourself to the world, how you're showing up to the world, marketing in the world.
Yep. Everything in the world is marketing.
Everything, every little thing. So with that said, when you are forming your plan, breaking it down, and really looking for the next way to implement it, and part of that plan includes using your personal brand to succeed and making sure that you are building a business or improving a corporation, then you're going to need to talk to Laura. If part of that plan includes showing up in a big M marketing way within your business on social media, email marketing, websites, blogs, that sort of thing, connecting to people, forming real relationships, and fleshing out what your messaging and branding actually looks like, that's where I come into play. You can reach out to both of us with the links in the show notes and start the conversation. Just say hi, because you can already tell we're not going to bite, at least not hard. With that, I hope you all have a great rest of the day, and we will chat soon. See you later.